I hear all the time from contractors that they want systems in their business. They want SOPs in their business. However, depending on where the bottlenecks are in your business will depend on what type of system gets to be applied in which area of your business. Give me the next few minutes and I'm going to break down the right strategies to apply to each area of your business so you can actually systemize your business more so you can make more money and keep more money. Hey, I'm Liz Chisholm and I help contractors just like yourself grow their business by making more money and keeping more of that money. So I break it down into what I call the Systems Quadrant. In this quadrant, number one, we have systems that work and everybody knows how they work. Our employees follow this. Our subcontractors are in line with this. And things are working relatively well. If you're in business making any kind of money, you have systems that actually work. They are in your business. Next, you have quadrant number two, which is where the systems are unclear. They're not quite sure what's the next step, where things go, and things fall through the cracks. So in this quadrant, we actually don't have clarity. When we have these types of systems, we actually just need to apply an SOP to them to create clarity in the process. Oh, we step one, step two, step three works for me, and let's just apply it to our business. Let's just implement it in our business. This is where people have SOPs that they've either built from ChatGPT, or they've gotten from somebody else, or they've gotten from a coach or something like that. So this is where we can create clarity in our business using somebody else's SOPs or using somebody else's way of doing things. Now, this one is what I call the SOPs that are all in your head. And this is where the owner is the bottleneck of the business. If the business is running and it's running relatively well, but the owner is the bottleneck. It can only grow to the owner's capability, the owner's capacity. The owner can't go on vacation. The owner has their phone ring off the hook all the time. The owner can't work on their business because they're putting out fires all the time on the job site and they're working in their business all the time. This is where these types of systems actually don't work because it's not something that we can just take and move into place in our business. It's what we do, how we do it. The expert in us needs to be taken out of us so that way we can actually communicate it. The problem is that most people try to delegate this and add these types of systems to this, and what happens is the employee doesn't follow them, they don't do it quite right, they fall short, they don't actually do things the way they wanted them to do things, and it just becomes a mess. So what ends up happening is the owner ends up just jumping back into their business and trying to solve the problem of getting their business working, solving the problems. And this is where, again, they're back into that firefighting mode. They're back into the things that keep them stuck as the bottleneck. And so in this quadrant, we actually don't want to just take systems and apply them here because it won't work. We need to actually have a system that's not so set in concrete that we can pull the information out. And so it's not all stuck in your head and you can pull it out so that way somebody else can do it as effectively as you. This is where question-based processes come into play. When I work with a client, this is mostly where their systems are. It's all stuck in their head. They're like, yeah, I'm at 1 million, I'm at 2 million, but I can't grow anymore. I've been here forever because I do this and I do this and I do this and I put out these fires and I know how to do it. And so then I start asking them different questions and they go, well, it depends. It depends. It's my favorite phrase from owners because I know that this is where they're stuck. If I go and throw at a SOP at them, it may not actually change their business. If I pull the information out of their mind and then I can now work with that and then I can go, okay, well, what you're doing here is actually almost working, but let's apply a few of these strategies from here and apply them to what you're actually doing and then supercharge it and get it back into this system. So everything's working and everybody knows what's going on. And so this is where the question-based processing comes into play. This is where I help business owners reframe how they see things or look through a different lens. You wear glasses and you are nearsighted, but you put on somebody's glasses who's farsighted, things are going to look vastly different. So you want to actually take this, ask those questions, get that clarity out into your business, and then you can move things around and go, okay, well, this actually is not really a good way of doing it. It's just the way I've always done it. And so therefore we can actually modify, change, fix, and upgrade and make these systems better, optimize them. Now let's go on to quadrant number 4. And this is where we just need a new business model. And this is where we actually have to just throw things out and add new things. This is where what you're doing is not working, and so we have to get a whole new strategy. And it's not just adding a couple of SOPs to that and hoping that we can put some band-aids on an entire business model that doesn't work. It's actually creating a new way of doing things. It's actually doing something different than what we're currently doing so we can get different results. And here's the thing, is that if you are, let's say this is your business, and this is the revenue you get from one job. And this is the tiny little amount of profit that you get at the very end. Now, this is what we call net profit. And so net profit is what we have left over after everybody's been paid, after we've paid for gas and our vehicles and our materials and our phones and our computers and our internet and our salary and everything. Like, this is literally what is left over. So let's say we've charged the client $100 and we have estimated that we have a 35% gross profit margin in there. So I'm going to put this right here and I'm going to say gross profit margin is 35%. At this point, your business is actually a hobby. It is not a real business. You are not making enough to actually grow your business and have a real business. This is where most people are stuck. So we can add a couple of SOPs and we can make things a little bit better and streamline things a little bit better. But if we're not dealing with the actual business model of your business, then we're really making such minor tweaks and changes to your business that we're not going to make any massive improvements. And therefore you're going to stay stuck in your business and you're not going to be making a lot of money. Now, if we can change your business model so that way you can get 50 or even 60% gross profit margins, then now we have some room to move. But in order to do that, we can't just go charge a client that much amount of money. I mean, I guess we could, but they may not actually sign with us. We actually have a new business model, a new way of looking at our business, and a new way of calculating our costs, a new way of understanding what we're charging for, how we're charging for it, and how we are providing the value for the customer at the end of the day to get that amount of money. Now, again, we're still kind of stuck in this business model. And so the next lever that we want to move, instead of just changing the business model, is actually changing the business model to charge more so that way we have more room to grow. And then this down here becomes a bigger piece of the pie so that way we can hire the admin we need. We can hire marketing. We can hire a project manager to handle our jobs. We can work on our business instead of in our business, because when you're at 35, give or take, gross profit margins, you're actually not making enough money to go hire somebody. And so therefore you're going to stay stuck in your business. So when we look at this, yes, we can have SOPs, but that only solves one of the problems. We actually first need to get a new business model. It may mean focusing on different types of clients. For example, one of my guys, he's a kitchen and bath remodeler, and he actually shifted to only focusing on bathrooms because when he was focusing on kitchens and baths, he was down here at 35%. So we got a new business model, meaning we shifted the focus. Instead of doing kitchens and baths, we actually only focused on baths, and then we were able to get this up closer to that 50% mark. So now we have the room to grow. We now have the ability to apply these types of systems to a better model so that way they can become effective, and they're much easier to implement in your business when you have the right business model. Or if you've got everything in your head and so you're handling all of the project management skills, just getting it out of your head and hiring a project manager, if you have the wrong business model, then you really don't have any room to go afford or pay for that project manager. So we may need a new business model, and then we can take everything out of your head and apply it to the new business model. And therefore we can then go, okay, now we can add these systems and we can move everything towards this direction where we have a systemized business and our business does not have us in the day-to-day operations, and we can grow and actually take a vacation without our phone ringing off the hook. We can actually work on our business and not have our phone ring off the hook all the time because we're putting out fires and dealing with this issue and that issue. And oh, it all depends on what I think and I know. And so when we actually look at our business and we understand, okay, where is certain areas? Maybe the way that you do a job actually just needs some SOPs. And maybe how you deal with customers and how you do the estimates, maybe it's all in your head. Customers love you, you're doing great, but if it's all in your head, then you can't actually delegate that out. And so it's not just an overall business strategy, but each area of your business you can actually focus on and be like, where is it on these quadrants? And how can I then apply the right system to my business in order to be most effective in that area and get my business to all move into quadrant number 1, where everybody knows what's going on, it's clear about everything, and my business runs like a well-oiled machine. If this video helped you recognize what areas of your business are in which quadrant, and then what's your next step in working towards getting out of the day-to-day operations and having the freedom of making more money and keeping more of that money, then just drop a comment below so I know that this video helped, and I'll make more videos like this.